All right. So tonight, we are going to talk about something you've probably talked about recently. We're going to talk about the questionable morality of a color tour. Some of you look confused, as well you should be, but hopefully by the end of my talk, you will understand how this is a very problematic thing. Now, as I'm going to talk about a little later, my wife and I love to go on a color tour. We do this every year, something I very much look forward to. Anybody else out there love to go on a color tour every fall? You can raise your hand. It's okay. I'm not going to call you out. Yeah, or you can woo-woo. It's all right. So we love it. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. My wife probably considers it more of a wine tour. And I'm fine with that. I'm not really a wine guy, so we go with another couple, and the ladies want to go, and they want to visit all the wineries, and that's okay. But you're probably wondering, how in the world does a color tour have anything to do with morality? And this next part of my talk is not going to be that funny, but there's some really, I'm glad that you laughed at that. That's great. Maybe you will laugh, I don't know. But I'm going to present some facts to you about plants. I heard this on a podcast recently. Anyone else listen to Armchair Experts or Armchair, the Dak Shepard podcast? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So, that guy does. So, anyway, this guy was on there talking about consciousness and the idea of what is consciousness, which is a really funny subject. But his name was Michael Pollan, and he was talking about, do plants have any consciousness? And yeah, you know. So, but I want to bring up this quote from Jack Handy from Saturday Night Live. If trees could scream, would we be so cavalier about cutting them down? We might if they screamed all the time for no good reason. Yeah, I like that. That's not me. I didn't write that, but I think it's very funny. And it's a funny joke, right? Like, who cares about cutting down trees? It's not that big of a deal. I have a fireplace. I burn wood all the time. I don't ever hear it screaming. That would kill the mood. All right, so we need to talk about what is sentience. Anyone out there think they know what sentience is without reading that first? Yeah? So sentience is taking any living thing that can take in information and then make decisions to return to homeostasis. How many of you don't know what homeostasis is? That's okay. It's okay. So let's define homeostasis. Homeostasis is a self-regulating process by which an organism can maintain internal stability while adjusting to changing external conditions. So basically what this means is, like, your body wants to be a certain temperature. What temperature does your body want to be? Right, so your body it's normal, and so if you get out of that, your body's going to work really hard at getting back to that normal level. That's homeostasis. Right? So what blew my mind is what plants can do, because there is scientific evidence that plants will try to return to homeostasis. They have their own normal that they try to get to. And some of these things that I found out are just wild and also true. You can look this up. So number one, there's this guy, his name is Stefano Mancuso. He's an Italian botanist, and apparently he really likes plants. So he did this experiment. If you're ever going to study the intelligence of mice, which I'm sure many of you have, what they do is often they put the mouse in a maze, and they put food at one corner of the maze, and they see how fast the mouse can get to the food. The faster the mouse can get there, the smarter the mouse is. Stefano Mancuso did this with a corn plant. True story. He had a maze set up. He put nitrogen, a fertilizer, in one corner of the maze. The corn grew the fastest route to the nitrogen. That's a true story. How did it do that? I don't know, but it's kind of wild. It makes me wonder, what's going on with plants that we don't really understand? That was the first example. The second example is bean plants. Anyone ever plant a bean plant? You have, you know. What do you got to put in the ground for the bean plant? A pole, right, good answer. Have you planted a bean plant, ma'am, or are you lying to us all? So anyway, if you plant, beans want to climb up something, okay? And so if you put a pole near a bean plant, as it's growing, the bean plant will grow right for the pole. It's not going to just squirrel around. It's going to go right for the pole and go up the pole. How does it know the pole is there? I don't know. I don't have answers tonight, just lots of questions. Trees will detect a pipe with water in it. If you have a pipe underground that has water in it and you have a pipe that has just like your internet cables or something like that, it will ignore the pipe with cables in it and it will go for the water. How does the tree know that there's water in that pipe and not the other one? There's some type of intelligence going on here, clearly. And this is the one that I think is maybe the freakiest, one of the freakiest ones. Venus flytrap, you've seen these. What happens if you touch one? They close, that's right. I don't know why people do studies like this, but they do. So some scientists put a bell jar over the plant, and then they filled that jar with like an anesthetic gas. So they put the plant to sleep. They went to touch the Venus flytrap. It didn't close because it was asleep. And they tried it again later after a period of time, and the plant woke up, and then they would touch it, and it would start closing again. That one kind of freaked me out. Only a couple more of these, I promise, guys. Do you know what giraffes eat? Very, very good. I like it. It's so questioning. Like, I don't want to be wrong. Leaves? Yes, leaves is correct. They eat leaves from an acacia tree. And on the acacia tree, what will happen here is the acacia tree, once a giraffe starts eating its leaves, it'll release an enzyme or a chemical so that all the leaves start to taste bitter. And it will send notifications to trees within a half-mile circle, and all the trees in that radius will also, all their leaves will turn bitter, so the giraffe will have to go farther out to get leaves that don't taste bad. Yes, really, this is true. It's true. You can look this up. And certain plants, if you play them the sound of a caterpillar eating a leaf, they will emit those same type of enzymes to make their leaves taste bitter. So we really have to rethink what's going on with plants. And if you're already like a vegetarian and you eat plants, you're kind of screwed if you take this seriously. Because you got nothing left to eat, because that's about it. So I love a color tour like I mentioned to you. But what's happening? Why are the leaves changing color? Because they're what? They're dying, right? And I go with my wife, and she drinks wine, and I look at all the pretty colors, but what I'm really watching is I'm watching the death process. And if these trees can think, they're like, you bastard, how are you watching my babies die? And then I wondered, what if the tables were flipped? What if trees went to nursing homes? And then I thought, I know, I have a weird brain. And then I thought, what are some things that are appropriate to say at a color tour that are not appropriate to say at a nursing home? Let's talk about this. Number one, I love to see the pretty colors they turn as they're dying. Do you want to get kicked out of a nursing home? This is the way to do it, and I've got a few others for you. I love the crunching noise it makes when I walk over them. Number one, they don't want you walking on the elderly. Their bones are brittle, they will snap. You will hear a crunching noise, hopefully it's not satisfying to you. Number three, it's just the best smell when they're being burned. You're a bad person for laughing at this, sir. This is educational, not funny. I know it's not legal, but how else are you supposed to get rid of all of them? In the city, we can just rake them to the curb and they come pick them up. They do that in Granville, I think. Bring out your elderly. And last but not least, what's more fun than jumping in a pile of them? Could we get all the elderly in a pile? Here I come. All right. Anyway, thank you so much. You've been a lot of fun. Thank you. Respect your elders.